set, let's review the cards and see what's best. So much stuff to look at. It's quite sick. An empty wallet is what you'll get with consistency cards like Jirachi and Erika's hospitality. We won't be breaking easily, even Vegeta will work decently. Or how about some pure force with Zapdos? We have no remorse. Thundering basics, yes of course. This deck will be better than yours. And don't forget about the tag teams giving up 3 prizes, so it seems, but their stats are looking so unreal. 300 HP? That's like a dream. Yeah, episode 205. Top 20 cards of the new tag team set. Actually, you get more than that, but shh. What's up YouTube, it's Zapdos TCG here and welcome to episode 205 where we're going to talk about the best cards of the upcoming set Team Up. This is going to be an interesting set containing a lot of cards and I actually could not make it down to like a top 20 list, so I'm just going to talk about some honorable mentions first before we actually go into the top 20. And the top 20 are definitely going to talk about everything in detail about the cards, talk about some combos, so if you want to stick around to learn about the Team Up set, this is definitely a video for you. So with the honorable mention, let's get it on the way. We have an honorable mention here. It is Black Market Prism Star, and this is actually an interesting stadium card. It's a Prism Star, that meaning you can only have one of those in your deck, and if you just have it as a stadium card active, if either player knocks out a Darkness Pokemon with any Darkness energy attached to them, that player takes one less prize card. So this is very great. The reason that I did not put it into the top 20 is that it easily is counterable with things like, yeah, everybody's running stadium cards nowadays. Think about Devoured Fields, Brooklyn Hills, all that good stuff. So that's why I'm not putting it in this list. The same goes for the Wonder Labyrinth Prism Star, also a Prism Star. If it's in play, all Pokemon's attacks except for Fairy Pokemon cost 1 cardless energy more. So this is also very great in stall decks. Think about Sylveon Mill, but it can also be used, and of course things like Zoroark GX control decks, these can still use, of course, Oranguru, because with the cardless energy more, you can still use the research management. So I do see this card working here and there, but then again, it's a stadium card that is easily counterable, so that's why I did not include it. Also very specific. It could be used in, of course, Fairy decks itself, but maybe in Gardevoir, who knows. It's also an honorable mention here. Another honorable mention here is Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is going to be coming back with some kind of like a block here. It has the ability withdrawal block. Your opponent cannot return any Pokemon with damage counters on them or any cards attached to this Pokemon to their hand. So this is basically like an Acerola block. So this is awesome because you know some Zoroark lists run even 3 Acerolas and stuff, and they keep repeating Acerola, and even with things like research management they get it back, with Palpat they get it back. Well, Mr. Mime will make sure that they cannot even play down their Acerola. So Mr. Mime again blocking, of course, those healing shenanigans. This time around it's not blocking healing, but it's just blocking the Acerola and specifically. So next up is going to be Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is very interesting. It's a stage 2, 160 HP. The thing here is that it has the ability Mother Call. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Pokemon card, excluding GXs and EXs, reveal it and put it in your hand. This is very, very great. Think about, of course, Sunshine Grace of Grovyle. That searches out the grass Pokemon. Well, the Nidoqueen can search out everything except for EXs and GX. So this is very great to set up your board because it has the attack Power Lariat, dealing out 10 damage plus 50 more times the number of your evolution Pokemon on your bench. This means, so if you have like 3 evolution Pokemon on your bench, that could be stage 1s, that could be stage 2s, whatever. If you have like 3 evolutions, you can dish out 160 with a choice band 190, and you can definitely get your stage 1s and stage 2s on board very quickly thanks to the Mother Call ability. So I do think there's definitely going to be like a rogue deck with Nidoqueen. Potentially it might be higher, but it's still an honorable mention for now. Next up is going to be Articuno. This is going to be an interesting one because it's going to be resembling the Omega Barrier effect. It has the ability Blizzard Veil. While this is your active Pokemon, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevents all effects of that card done to your bench Water-type Pokemon. What does this mean? Well, they cannot Guzma out a Water-type Pokemon on your bench. They cannot Plumeria on a Water-type Pokemon on your bench. Every supporter that does something to our bench is safe if it's a Water-type, that is. So this is going to be very interesting. Maybe we're going to see it with like Quagsire and Naganadel combos here in a deck like that, where you just promote your Articuno because it also comes back with an attack. It dishes out 70 damage, and then you move 2 water energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon, and then you can just put it back to, of course, the Articuno with Quagsire. So it could be like an interesting combo because you can just build something up on the bench without having to worry about, oh, they're gonna Guzma it out. So your Quagsire is safe for sure. They always like to target down your Quagsire, no problem if Articuno is in the active position. And you can also work out with Wailord and Magikarp GX, which we're gonna talk about soon enough in this video. We're not gonna go in detail here. Next up is going to be Jasmine. Jasmine is great for metal type Pokemon. It searches your deck for a metal type Pokemon and reveal it and put it in your hand. That might not sound great, but during your if you go second on your very first turn, you may search out 5 metal Pokemon instead. This is insane. This can just get out your setup Magnemite, Duskmane, and Crozma GX, for example. It also is very great in other metal type decks that might come out in the future. So Jasmine, don't sleep on this card for now. I just think it's an honorable mention. Next up is going to be Pidgeotto. Why only Pidgeotto? It has 60 HP. Very interesting ability, that's why I'm putting it in here. It is searchable with Alm's Lecture. That means that you can just have a Ditto Prism Star and a 1 of Pidgeotto if you just want some extra consistency. It comes back with the ability Airmail. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards from your deck, put one of them in your hand, and the other one goes to the bottom of the deck. So this can mean that you always have access to some extra consistency. We've known that Trainer's Mail and Expanded and all that good stuff has been seen play. So why will Pidgeotto see play? Because it has 60 HP and it is splashable thanks to Ditto Prism Star. Next up is going to be Latias and Latios Tag Team GX, the first tag team. This is not even in the top 20. Why is that? Even though it actually did win a League Cup or whatever in Japan, I do think the better option if you want to go for something like this is to run Ultra Necrozma GX. For the same amount of energies, you'll definitely be getting 1-hit KOs regardless. This guy dishes out 240 and you have to discard 3 energies. It's the same with Ultra Necrozma GX, but this tag team is a new mechanic in the TCG and they give up 3 prize cards. So it's a GX, but they give up 3 prize cards because they are insanely powerful. It has 250 HP and also comes back with the Aero Unit GX. Attach 5 basic energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it, this prevents all effects of attacks, including damage done to it during your opponent's next turn. So it could be set up even with Malamar and all that stuff, but it needs a water energy, so I don't know if it's kind of splashable or not. So that's why I'm not putting it in the top 20. Next up, there's going to be Morgan. Morgan is a very great supporter and it actually works very well. You're gonna have Dana, Evelyn, and Nita in your deck as well. That's why I'm not putting it in the top 20 because it's very clunky and only situational because you're gonna need all of these supporters. They actually do something entirely different. We have Nita. You can only play this card if your opponent's is an active Pokemon as a basic. Shuffle an energy from your opponent's active into their deck. Then we have Evelyn. You can only play this card if your opponent's active Pokemon is a stage 1. And then you can just draw 4 cards if you just play that. And then you have Dana. You can only play this card if your opponent is a stage 2. Search your deck for any 2 cards and put them in the hand. So it's very, very specific. But Morgan is actually why I'm putting Morgan in the top 20 here. Those supporters are just but this is just gonna be the reason here. In order to play Morgan down, you have to discard 1 Dana, 1 Evelyn, and 1 Nita from your hand. Then you can look at the top 12 cards from your deck and attach as many energy cards as you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the remaining cards back into your deck. How will this work? You're definitely going to be running Tapu Lele in order to just get those cards. Maybe with Zoroark and trade. Zoroark doesn't even need lots of energy, so it's very, very specific, and I'm only putting Morgan at an honorable mention here. Next up is going to be Pokemon Communication. So glad to see this back. It's all the way back from Black and White. This does the exact same thing. Reveal a Pokemon in your hand, put it on top of the deck. If you do, search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it and put it in your hand. Why is this only an honorable mention? It's a reprint. We've already gotten used to it, but it definitely can search out your Tapu Lele GX. Even though Tapu Lele GX has become kind of a target, people just like to target it down and one-shot it and get 2 prize cards. That's why I'm not putting it in here, but Pokemon Communication is great in a deck that runs lots of Pokemon. That way you always have access to whatever you want. Pokemon Communication could be great in Granbull as well. Just you can play it down if you have a Pokemon. Everything that runs lots of stage 1s can make use of Pokemon Communication to get the correct Pokemon. Sometimes you just have a Pokemon in hand, you say, oh, I don't want this one. Pokemon Communication back in the deck, get a Tapu Lele GX or something else you want to evolve. It's definitely great. Next up is going to be Dangerous Rail, the last honorable mention. Sorry, this is a long video. We're gonna start with the top 20 soon enough. This is Dangerous Drill. Discard a Darkness Pokemon from your hand. If you did, discard either a special energy, a tool card, or attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon, or a stadium card in play. So you have 3 options: stadium card, a tool card, or a special energy that you can discard. If you just decide to discard a Darkness Pokemon from your hand. That is only in the honorable mentions. It's very disruptive, but usually those Darkness type decks do not want to be disruptive like that. But maybe Zoroark Control, who knows. And now, without further ado, it's a big set, so that's why I'm just putting it down to the top 20 and a bunch of honorable mentions. Could be like a top 30, but whatever. Now we're gonna start, with slot number 20, and that is going to be Nanu. Nanu already proven itself in Japan with a winning list, Zoroark, Lycanroc winning list, running Nanu. Nanu is a supporter. Switch a basic Darkness Pokemon from your discard pile with one of your Pokemon in play. Any attached cards, damage counters, special conditions, turns in play, and any other effect remain on the new Pokemon. Discard the Pokemon you switch with. So, why is this great? This can come out of nowhere. This Nanu can turn into a Sneasel, for example, and then you can evolve immediately because it was a turn in play. Bam, Weevil out of nowhere. Another effect, you can just use Nanu, bam, you can get your Alolan Grimer, which is a Darkness type. I do expect lots of people playing Darkness Alolan Grimers in their deck nowadays because they can rely on Nanu. Nanu just switches to Alolan Grimer, where you can evolve into Alolan Muck immediately. So this can come out of nowhere. Another effect here is just, you just smack it down, Nanu, switch your Pokemon with a Hoopa. Oh no, they have all GX as well, GG. That is how Nanu will be played. So there's a lot of Darkness Pokemon around. Maybe there's also some combinations with like the Incineroar GX we're gonna talk about, because you can just switch a basic Pokemon from the discard pile with one of the Pokemon in play, and then Incineroar has built an energy acceleration for Darkness type, so we're definitely gonna see a lot of crazy combos with Nanu, so that's why I decided to put it in at number 20. It also pairs really well with the Dangerous Drill, so Dangerous Drill didn't make the top 20, but Nanu is more flexible in my opinion. Okay. Number 19 is going to be, what I put on the list is going to be Bill's Analysis. Bill's Analysis is very great in like those basic decks that rely on like their item cards, or maybe in stage 2s to just get that exact trainer card, so you don't have to rely on a little Ninetales GX, even though that's more consistent. But if you're not running GXs, Bill's Analysis will be great. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose 2 trainer cards you find there, reveal them and put them into your hand. This is kind of like your way of searching your rare candy, or like those item cards that are not searchable, or maybe your Electro Power if you're playing that in a deck. This is going to be great to just get 2 of them at the same time. This is going to be awesome. That way you can just get maybe an Ultra Ball and a rare candy, and out of nowhere with a Bill's Analysis you got your stage 2 on board. Could also help out maybe in Rayquaza, even though Rayquaza does not have the space for it, but I do like Bill's Analysis, and I decided to put it at the number 19 slot because I do think Bill's Analysis will see play in certain top decks. Definitely think about Passimian, for example. They definitely want like an energy. Well, with Bill's Analysis, you can just look at the top 7 cards. Maybe you find an Energy Lotto. You can play that Energy Lotto. It's gonna be like fun with this. You can also grab your Choice Band, everything you want. It says choose 2 trainer cards, so that could also be your Shrine of Punishment, etc. So I definitely like this card. That definitely says trainer card, so that is also including supporters and stadiums. Alright, moving forward, number 18 is going to be Doublade. Doublade is kind of like the new Tool Drop mechanic here. The attack is also called Tool Drop, very convenient. So it has 90 HP, it's a metal type. That might scare you off as your main attacker of choice, but we do have Metal Frying Pan at our disposal, getting rid of our weakness, and also having that extra 30 buff defense with the Metal Frying Pan, as we've seen before with attacking Steelix, to buff your HP up to a little reasonable amount. Doublade is in here because I do think that this deck will see a little bit of play, because we do have Genocide GX in the format, and for those of you that don't know what Genocide GX's ability is, it can have 2 tool cards equipped, and Tool Drop dishes out 30 damage times the number of tool cards attached to all Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponents. That means that you can just have, like, let's say you have 6 tool cards in total. On all of your Pokemon there's a tool card. You're already dishing out 180. You don't have to discard them like you did with Gourgeist, whatever. You just can use it. Let's say you have a Choice Band onto Doublade. Well, with 6 tool cards in total, you'll dish out 210. That is a magical number in my book. Not only that, if you have some Genesects laying on the bench, they can having 2 tool cards attached. And with Adventure Bag, you can search out your tool cards. I definitely enjoy this. There's also a Delibird that was released in the Lost Thunder set, which will help out this kind of a deck. That's why I'm a big fan of Doublade. For a simple DCE, you can just get it going. Even though you only have 4 DCEs in your entire deck, there also is a way to get your DCEs back thanks to Oranguru and Resource Management. But this Doublade will be packing some serious heat, and will most of the times get 1-hit KOs if the opponent is not packing their Field Blower. So that's why I'm just loving this deck already. Tool Drop with Genocide GX and Delibird and Doublade. It's gonna be fantastic, right? And lots of tool cards. Maybe you're running Poison Barbs and the Metal Frying Pans, Choice Helmets, you name it. It's gonna be fun. Next up is going to be another Tag Team GX here, that's going to be Gengar and Mimikyu GX. I only put it down at number 17 because I think it's going to be easy to counter this card. There's going to be a weakness to darkness, which is definitely not good in the format right now. This set boosts darkness types by a lot, and if you haven't realized, weak to darkness and 240 HP is righteous beating. It's a KO, so Gengar will be, it's kind of risky to play it if you're not facing any Zoroarks. Yeah, whoever said that there was like a meta without Zoroark, that doesn't exist. So weakness to darkness, I'm just, it could be splashed into a Malamar deck. Its first attack dishes out 50 damage, you reveal your opponent's hand, actually the opponent reveals their hand, and you dish out 50 damage for each trainer card you find there. That includes supporters, items, stadiums, etc. So let's say they have like 3 of them, which is yeah, kind of average. That's going to be dishing out 150 damage with a choice band 180, so that's already good. Horror House GX is something I really like. Your opponent cannot play any cards from their hand during their next turn. If this Pokemon has an extra Psychic Energy attached to it, in addition to the attack cost of this Horror House GX, each player draws cards until they have 7 cards. So the main idea is like use Horror House GX. Hopefully the opponent draws like lots of trainer cards, and then you just BAM! Poltergeist, and they are knocked out. That is the main idea of the combo Horror House and Poltergeist. The cool thing is that they cannot Guzma after a Horror House, they're stuck, so this can be like late game potential here to just lock them out, have that Pokemon prepped, and then use Guzma on your last prizes on maybe Tag Team GX, for example. You can just pair it with Malamar, it's gonna be nice, but the thing I hear is you can just play around it. Let's say, oh, I see this Gengar coming, well, no problem, I'm just gonna thin out my hand completely, so your Poltergeist will be there dishing out like very low amount of damage. And if you want to waste your GX move to the opponent to just let them draw cards, I don't know, and that's why I'm just putting it at the number 17 slot here. Next, we're gonna go to Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is the number 16 spot here, and it's already proven itself. A little bit of hype in Japan already. Aerodactyl, 130 HP. It is a stage 1, evolves from Mysterious Fossil or the Unidentified Fossil nowadays. You can just search out unidentified fossils with a little Ninetales GX, but I do not recommend it. This is going to be kind of a shrine deck with Bill's maintenance, actually Bill's, what was it again? Bill's analysis. You can maybe search out your unidentified fossils, smack them down, and there's also like a way to just research whatever to just get your fossil Pokemon out. So this Pokemon will be nice because it comes back with the Fossil Fang. If you have no GX or EX Pokemon on your bench, you dish out 180 with this attack, otherwise only 90. 180. Perfect number. That means with a simple choice band 210, and that is the magical number for most regular GXs, not Tag Team GXs, but as a one prize attacker with Shrine around, this is going to be nice. You can just power up with maybe Malamar. It only needs like 3 Carlos energy, so it's going to be fantastic. So I do love Aerodactyl here. You can like maybe build a deck completely around Aerodactyl, as some Japanese players are already doing. Next up, some more Kainto love. We're gonna have Blastoise. If you're familiar with the base set, Blastoise with the Rain Dance ability, well, very similar, but still it's a little bit different. It has the Power Squall ability. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, choose as many water energy cards you find there and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the remaining cards back in the deck. So every single turn, you can just look at the top 6 cards and put all the energies you find there. I assume you're already only playing water type energies to your Pokemon in any way you like. This is fantastic. I know it's a stage 2, but with Brooklyn Hill, you can simply get out your Squirtles and all that good stuff, and you can just get all the water energies. You can just drop the Quagsire line or Naganadel line in your big basic water type box. Just put in maybe a 3-0-3 line of Blastoise, try to get it out with Rare Candy, and as soon as it gets out, you're just gonna have that energy acceleration at your side. It's not as consistent as, of course, with Naganadel from the discard pile, then Quagsire to the active, but sometimes you just have like insane luck. You just have like, let's say, 5 energies on the top of the deck if you run lots of energies, and then you can just make full use of Blastoise to power up your big basic GXs, for example. Or maybe your one prize attackers like White Kyurem and all that good stuff. But the thing here is that, again, this will be the only way, I think, to just set up your Magikarp and Wailord Tag Team GX. We've already seen it before. It's out in collection boxes, but it's going to be on this list soon enough. So Blastoise, swapping by at number 15. Next up, we're gonna have Ampharos GX. I do love some lightning type GXs. This is going to be awesome. I know it has a 3 retreat cost, but I don't even care at this point because it only needs 1 energy to pack some serious amount of damage. You can just rely on Power Recharge, its attack. It dishes out 30 damage. Might not seem a lot, but it says put all of your Electro Power from the discard pile into your hand. Let's say at the early game, you just rely on maybe what else can attack for a single energy. Raikou, for example. Raikou can just also smack some serious damage and set up some Pokemon on the bench while you just have that. And with Electro Power, you dish out 30 damage with your lightning types. And let's say you have all 4 of them in the discard. You smack them down. That is 120 damage with the Power Recharge base damage, 150 with a choice band 180. And then you can get all your Electro Powers back. And that is something I enjoy a lot with this card. This is going to be a 1 energy attacker, which means Max Potion is going to be the key here with Ampharos. And there's also its other attacks, Impact Bolt, 150 damage for 2 lightning energies, or 1 lightning energy if Thunder Mountain Prism Star is in play. 1 energy, that's insane. With Electro Powers, you can just have crazy KOs here. Very insane attack. Then we have Electrical GX. Search your deck for 7 Pokemon, reveal them and put them into your hand. I am not a big fan of this GX move. It could be nice to set up your Pokemon, but then you just have to put them in the hand. The opponent might play a Marshadow or a Judge, and that's where all your Pokemon and your GX both go down the drain. So I do think that if you want a Lightning GX, maybe Tapu Thunder GX of Tapu Koko GX is nice, or the one of course, the Zeraora GX. So that is great lightning support for your GX move. But Ampharos is nice. Smack Electro Powers, get them all back. I know they can Marshadow you and all that good stuff. That's why it's only at number 14. Let's say Disruption cards weren't around, I would have put this higher. But as soon as you get your Electro Power combos going, it's going to be fantastic. You need lots of draw cards to draw into your Electro Powers, but with Max Potions and all that, I do love myself stage 2 with only 1 energy as the attack cost. Alright, moving forward, we're going to talk about Lycanroc GX. This is going to be the Dawn form. This is going to be the one we are still missing. We have, of course, the midday form. We have the midnight form. Now with the Dawn form, it has a crazy ability, Twilight Eye. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Rockruff or Ditto Prism Star, yeah, you may discard 1 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. This is very nice. You can just definitely build a deck around this, get a couple of them out and have all sorts of energy disruption with Crushing Hammers and Enhanced Hammers, all that good stuff. It also packs some serious power with Astral Rock, which deals 120 damage for fighting on a DCE, just like Lycanroc, the other one did with Claw Slash. Very similar, one-shots. Zora GX, that's already great in my book. And Radial Edge GX dishes out 30 damage, times the number of energy cards in your opponent's discard pile. Pairs really well with the Twilight Eye and the Crushing Hammers and the Enhanced Hammers and that good stuff. So do have some a little bit of a hope. In Japan already somebody did some very crazy deck like Lycanroc with Persian. We're definitely gonna have to figure that out as soon as the set drops. Next up, are you a fan of item lock? Are you a fan of supporter lock? Well, this is going to be like a mixed slot here. This is going to be Omastar and Kabutops at the number 12 spot. And Omastar is the one that has the built-in item lock. If you have less Pokemon in play than your opponent, your opponent cannot play any item cards from their hand. Wow, and usually they will like use Tapu Lele, Elm, set up their bench entirely, so you will always have, like most of the times if you control it, less Pokemon in play than your opponent. There will be an item lock. Oh, that's just great. You don't even have to have this guy in the active position. They're straight up in an item lock. I know it's a stage 2, you need your unidentified fossil, but if you just build a deck around it, this can definitely work. We've seen item lock before, like with Luxio, very average in the format with Buzzwole GX around. We've seen Seismitoad just dominating Expanded, and this is going to be in standard. I just love it that we're gonna have an Omastar sitting on the bench while you just smack a launch of damage around while they're in an item lock. Item lock is just so powerful. No rare candy, no Ultra Ball, Timer Ball, Nas Ball, no balls at all. No Pokemon communication. What else am I gonna note here down? No items at all, so that's very powerful. Also, no Field Blower, no what other good items? No Electro Power, so item lock very disrupt. No even Crushing Hammers, no Enhanced Hammers. You could be playing a special energy deck with item lock, so you don't have to be afraid of Enhanced Hammer. There's still Faba though, but yeah, I love item lock. It's definitely gonna see play in some crazy weird deck. Why is that? There's also Kabutops. This comes back with the Fossil Memory ability. While this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent cannot play supporter cards from their hand. Can you imagine? Yeah, it's both evolve from the same unidentified fossil, I think. I have to check here. Yeah, I do think so. Let me just check that. Yeah, unidentified fossil, just evolve that. Okay, you can play a rare candy's unidentified fossil, so that is definitely great. And the thing you should know here is that if Kabutops is active, no supporters, no Guzman, no Cynthia, no Judge, whatever, it is supporter lock. Pair that with Omastar on the bench, and the opponent will not be able to play item cards and supporter cards. That is just insane to think about. I don't know which is better. I do love the item lock more than supporter lock, so also no extra holos. Oh, think about that. but both will definitely see play at some point, so that's why I put them down at number 12. Moving forward, Venusaur and Celebi. They are another tag team GX, and the reason that this is in here because people already figured out how to make this huge tank work. This Venusaur is packing Polar Hazard, dishing out 50 damage and inflicting the opponent with 3 special conditions: Poison, Burn, and Confuse. So basically it's like 80 damage, definitely, and Confuse, and then see if they retreat or not to have some extra damage by the special conditions of Poison and Burn. Solar Beam, 150, and Evergreen GX is where it's all about. Heal all damage from this Pokemon. Not only is this great, it's pretty similar like Tapu Wilderness GX, yeah. And there's also if this Pokemon has at least 1 extra grass energy, that meaning 5 grass or 5 energies in total. Yeah, shuffle all cards from your discard pile into your deck. Remember Lycanroc Trump card, the card that just got it banned because it was so good to just reuse all your resources. Wow, same goes here. What are you gonna try and do with this kind of deck? You're definitely gonna be a tank, absorbing damage like just like crazy. You're gonna have Shaymin from Shining Legends to heal up damage between turns. Actually, I think it's between turns or every once during your turn, whatever. You're definitely gonna heal up. You're gonna be running things like Potion. I know, Potion in the deck. That's right. The Japanese players are already testing this out with Potion and the healing of course, the Shaymin paired with Eater's Paradise Conservation Area and a Choice Helmet. The opponent will definitely not be able to hit 270 damage or whatever to just one-shot this, so you can just keep on going, have some healing cards, reuse all your potions and crushing hammers and all that stuff, because you can get them all back thanks to Evergreen GX. So that's going to be a deck on its own. That's also pairable with the Venusaur from Shining Legends, which makes sure that every grass energy counts as double grass energy. That could be the way to just power up Solar Beam. It is going to be very interesting indeed. So I put it down at the number 11 spot. Number 10, I have Magikarp and Wailord GX. This is what the fuss is all about. You can already get your collection box with Magikarp and Wailord tested already. It's already legal starting from the 18th of January, I think. You can already start testing in that. Even though the set of Team Up will not be legal, this card will be very early on legal in the TCG format. Okay, this is guys a basic Pokemon with 300 HP. That is just insane. We've seen Pokemon that have lots of HP like Regigigas for a non-GX. We've seen GXs like Solgaleo GX for 250 as a stage 2 was already like, wow, so much HP. And now we're gonna have like 300 HP on the basics. Just slap it down, 300 HP. Wow. There is of course a tool card in this set as well called Muscle Pad, which makes sure that you can have 50 extra HP on your Pokemon with 4 retreat cost. And that is definitely the case here with Magikarp and Wailord. The 300 HP, I do see like a stall deck mechanic going, max potion, healing off all that damage, ace roll combos, and it's going to be just stare in the active, sitting at the opponent, and your opponent is gonna say, how the hell do I destroy this huge tank? That's why I see Magikarp and Wailord doing so well in stall decks. You can also try and pair it out with the new Blastoise to just get the energies on board, because with 5 water energies, you deal out the Super Splash attack, 180 as a base damage. That's great. Choice Band, 110, actually 210. The amazing number I was talking about before. And then of course Towering Splash GX, lots of splashing around with this card. You dish out 10 damage, hooray for a GX move. And if this Pokemon has at least 7 extra water energies attached in addition to this attack cost, this attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Wow, this is like Necrozma GX, but then on everything, not on GXs included, actually not on GXs only, on everything. Let's say you get this going with of course a little bit of luck with your Blastoise early game. And bam, out of nowhere, you'll be doing this attack. All the opponent's weak basics will die. Even stage 1s, like Macargo, for example, will go down. Weak basics like Ditto, Zorua, Ralts, Rowlet, Alolan Vulpix, you name it, they are gonna go down. This is definitely great to just get your prize cards if you can get it going. Naganadel, Quagsire, Aqua Patch, B-String combos could also work out to get this attack going, but it's definitely gonna be interesting seeing Magikarp and Wailord. I do think that we're going to see it more as, of course, a defensive build with, of course, Max Potion and Ace Rolla, but it can also attack in certain decks. Wow. Next up is going to be Absol, number 9. Absol here. Why do I think it's great? Definitely going to wait for the number 1 spot, but I'm also going to talk about it a little bit. So here we have the Evil Spirit ability of Absol. Your opponent's active basic Pokemon has 1 more retreat cost. What does this mean? Well, yeah, you can trap Tapu now. If you're facing a deck without double cards energies, let's say not an energy acceleration deck. What deck does run Tapu Lele? Let's say, yeah, you could say like the Sigewai, for example. They run Tapu Lele. You can always use Guzma on Tapu Lele, and if they are not running double Kara's energy, they will be stuck in the active, for example. So that is awesome. Because you can have one extra retreat cost. You can maybe pair with Mount Welakila, just have some crazy stall shenanigans, but it also comes back with an attack. This attack does 30 more damage times your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost, so you can have some combo going, even though the attack cost is a little bit expensive. I would play it as a counter because certain Pokemon will try to retreat for 1 energy. Think about Persimmon with the escape board shenanigans. There's going to be more about escape board soon, but Absol is a counter for the best card in the set. That is something I can say, so that's why I'm putting it so high. Next up, we're going to talk about a Prism Star card. It's going to be Shaymin Prism Star. It's going to be the Skyform, and Shaymin always wants to pair itself with Rayquaza. No difference here. Shaymin Prism Star dishes out 30 damage times the number of energy attached to your Pokemon in play. So does that sound familiar? It's Rayquaza with the attack, of course. It's the exact same thing because that deck will only run lightning and grass energy. So this is a one-price attacker, a grass type, dishing out damage. You can one-shot Wailord and Magikarp GX because you're a grass type. You can also one-shot Lycanroc GXs, you can one-shot Lapresses, so it's gonna be amazing testing out this one-price attacker that can dish out the same amount of one-hit KO potential as Rayquaza GX. Not only that, it has free retreat, which means your Goosebump plays will be a little bit more less awkward, let's say that. You don't even have to run Zeraora GX anymore, even though that's also a great way to have free retreat. Shaymin Prism Star goes hand in hand with Rayquaza GX. Definitely run that in the deck. It has free retreat. Even if you start with it, you're gonna have an awesome time because sometimes you just start with Rayquaza and you say, I wish I would have used that ability. What was it, the ability again of Rayquaza? I have to think about that. Rayquaza. I have to just look that up now because otherwise I will not be able to sleep here because I always want to know everything here. It's going to be Stormy Winds. Okay, let's say you want to use Stormy Winds. Well, if you start with Shaymin, that's a great way. You have free retreat and you can use Stormy Winds. It's gonna be great. Next up, Eevee and Snorlax. Eevee and Snorlax GX. 270 HP again. Has a very crazy attack name. Cheer Up. Attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Energy acceleration and attack. If you go second and yeah, you can already start attaching some energies. That is going to be nice. Dump Trunk Press deals 120 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, you dish out 120 damage more. The only problem I see here is that in one-price attacking decks, like say Baby Boswell, it also is weak to fighting. You have to be careful of that. You're not gonna be able to one-shot those 130 HP Pokemon. That is the only problem. But against things like Zoroark, Lycanroc GX, everything that is an evolution Pokemon, things like Gardevoir GX is an evolution Pokemon, the Decidueye, all of them go down. That's why I think it's very great. Very, very great. Definitely as a basic Pokemon, being able to use Malamar to set up a DCE, 2 Psychic Transfers out of nowhere, 240, just way too good to pass up. I think this is one of the better tag team GXs from the set. There's still one better than this one, but I do think this is very powerful. We also have Megaton Friends, 210 damage as a base for the Choice Band. You're definitely gonna one-shot almost everything in the format. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it, in addition to the attack cost, draw cards until you have 10 cards in the hand. Drawing cards, getting a one-hit KO, that's just fantastic. I do love this card so much. You can just get his HP up with the muscle pad I talked about, but better is going to be Choice Band to just get your numbers even further against maybe things like to have 250 HP like Solgaleo GX with a Choice Band. That Dump Trunk Press attack is also gonna take care of those. So I'm definitely gonna pair it with Malamar. Definitely want to see how good this actually is. It is weak to fighting, so we're gonna have to be careful of Lycanroc GX, but it is what it is. All right. Moving forward, it's going to be a regular GX, no tag team GX nowadays. It's going to be Incineroar GX. This is going to be fantastic with the ability Scar Change. Once during your turn, you may put 3 damage counters onto this Pokemon. If you do, search your deck for 3 darkness energies and attach them to this Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. Wow! Have you ever wondered how Vikavolt is just so good? Well, screw Vikavolt, screw the acceleration Pokemon. This is your attacker and your accelerator in one simple card. Let's say you start with a Litten, second turn, bam, Rare Candy Incineroar, and you're already good to go to dish out all of its attacks because it has energy acceleration. I think this is definitely one of the best cards we've seen in a while. Crushing Punch deals 130 damage for 3 cards energy, so you can just set it up with its ability, and you can discard 1 special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon with a lot of special energies being played. We have Unit Energy, Rainbow Energy, Beast Energy, Double Cardless Energy, not to forget about that one. Everybody's complaining always about Double Cardless Energy. There's a lot of energies we can discard, and also it comes back with the Darkness Tornado GX, I think it's, or actually Tornado GX. This attack dishes out 50 damage times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon. So early game, second turn, you could already be able to dish out, just calculated, 3 damage counters. That's 160 with a choice band 190. Second turn 190 is something we've definitely dreamed of, and this guy can do it. You can one-shot Lele's, Ultra Necrozmas, Blacephalons, whatever. This card is insanely good. I can already see this card being played a lot. I know it's a stage 2, I know, but as soon as you get it out, you get your energies as well. You tin out your deck, you have so much capabilities. With Kukui, you can even get bigger numbers with Choice Band. I adore this card so much, that's why I'm putting it so high. Have high hopes. You can also do some certain combos, I think. If we just look back at the Nanu card, switch a basic Darkness Pokemon from the discard pile with one of the Pokemon in play. So let's say you use the ability of Incineroar GX, get energies into the play, then you use Nanu, you can just get your Incineroar and all cards attached to it, discard those and just swap it with a Pokemon. Do you think this is going to work? I have to check the ruling on that, but that would be awesome. Just have energy acceleration and swap it to something else entirely. Awesome. Next up is going to be another GX. It's going to be Pikachu and Zekrom GX, the mascot of the set. Everybody saw this card at the Worlds, at the World Championships. Everybody was like, oh my god, you give up 3 prize cards with tag teams. But this is worth it. Why is that? This card can take 4 prize cards. If the opponent definitely lays down a Tapu GX, you, good friend, are going to take 4 prize cards. That is for sure, thanks to Tag Bolt GX. You're definitely gonna have to have 6 lightning energies onto the Pikachu and Zekrom GX, but there's a lot of partners that could work. I'm gonna talk about certain cards later down the line, which are also gonna help out, but with the Thunder Mountain, that's only 5 energies. And the other thing I can see here working here is Magnezone. The Magnezone can just attach energy. I do think it was Ultra Prism or the set after that got the Lightning Magnezone. With that, or Celestial Storm, I don't know. Should check that out. I think it's Ultra Prism. So that Magnezone can just accelerate lots of energies with Lele, the supporter. You can just get energies from the deck, or maybe Rabombi, whatever you're not plan on doing. Get the energies, bam, onto Zekrom, and you're definitely gonna use that Tag Bolt, that GX move, 200 damage. If you have 3 extra lightning energies attached in addition to the attack cost, you dish out 170 damage to one of the opponent's bench Pokemon, aka you destroy Tapu Lele's on the spot. If the opponent is somehow deciding to play Tapu Lele, you're definitely gonna say, oh yeah, that's going to be 2 free prize cards with my GX move. Ooh, it's gonna be awesome. It also comes back with the full Blitz. Search your deck for 3 lightning energies and attach them to one of your Pokemon, so you can even set yourself up. Full Blitz, 150 damage. So, the ideal scenario, you start with Pikachu and Zekrom GX. You attach an energy and you say like pass, because you have like good cards in the hand, whatever. Then the opponent just gets some stuff out of their own. Maybe they can strike if they have like another card that can strike on the first turn. Then it's up to you. You use the the Thunder Mountain, give an extra energy, and out of nowhere you're going to be using full Blitz, 150, getting a KO if you have a choice band, and getting 3 lightning energies from the deck. I know you'll be stuck with like lots of energies, but Tapu Lele will need like more energies to one-shot you than you could possibly think of. So this will be the way to set this guy up, and if it's set up, you can just get your other prize cards. So fantastic. I'm just gonna test this out. Even with Electro Power, you can boost up the damage output even further to just crazy limits. This card is insanely good. I definitely suggest you get a couple of copies before they are gonna be too pricey. Pikachu's on there, so just saying, price will be very, very expensive. Next up, Tapu Koko Prism Star, another way to get your lightning Pokemon energy acceleration. We definitely are in dire need ever since the days of Electric. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may attach 1 lightning energy from your discard pile to 2 of your bench Pokemon. So basically like the Steam Blast, whatever the attack of Volcanion back in the days of Steam Siege. 2 lightning energies to 2 of your bench Pokemon. So this is awesome. The Tapu Koko and all cards attached to it has to go in the Lost Zone. Not that we mind that. It's just a Pokemon to just give ourselves the energy acceleration. So in combination with Thunder Mountain, Prism Star, and of course this energy acceleration, you could be using that attack of Pikachu and Zekrom for single energy. On the turn, the single manual energy, you could be doing that. That's just insane. Other cards that can work very well with Tapu Koko Prism Star is going to be Zeraora GX. Other cards, every lightning type will enjoy Tapu Koko Prism Star. That's why it's so high up on the list, because it's going to be in every lightning deck, almost every lightning deck. Next up is going to be a supporter. I am putting a supporter on the 3rd spot. This is my list, my personal opinion list. This is going to be Erika's Hospitality. We are in dire need of better draw support, and this is the one that can give it to us. If you have 6 or more cards in your hand, including this one, you cannot play this card. So if you have like 6 cards in the hand, you cannot play this card. If you have 5 cards in the hand, you can play it. That is not too hard. We have Ultra Ball and other cards that could just lower our hand size, so that's not bad at all. Or just play out some cards like Choice Bands, Energies, you know, until you have 5 cards in hand, and then draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokemon and play. Usually the opponent will have a full bench. Think about every deck you've faced so far in the current meta. Malamar deck, full bench. Zoroark, full bench. Rayquaza, full bench. Everything has a full bench. Well, we can just make use of that. Bam, Erika's Hospitality can definitely get us like 5 cards or maybe 4. Let's say 4 cards as an average. That's already very good because you can keep all the cards in the hand, and it's way better to draw cards than to shuffle cards, because definitely in decks that rely on rare candy or on the combo pieces in the hand, definitely rely on draw cards. You also have Sophocles to draw 4 cards, but sometimes Erika's Hospitality will let you able to just draw 6 cards, easy searchable with Tapu GX. Awesome. This is going to be one of the cards I'm looking forward to mostly testing out in my deck as a staple, because Erika's Hospitality is just so good to draw cards. We know we have Lily. I know we have Cynthia. How many times have you used the Lily for like 3? Didn't you like it? I know. That's why Erika's Hospitality will be so good, and I'm not afraid to put it at the number 3 spot. Next up, I'm going to just have some celebration here. It's going to be Zapdos. Zapdos is deserving to be on the number 2 spot here. Japan already proved itself worthy. A lot of players are testing out Zapdos, and for good reason. This is something we've seen not too often before. On your second turn, let's say you go second, you can start attacking. For single energy, this Zapdos will be blasting through every weak basic. Zorua, Ralst, Rowlet, Alolan Vulpix, even Trubbish, Inkase, whatever, they all get smacked in the face by the Absol Thunder. It dishes out 10 damage. If this Pokemon was on your bench and became your active this turn, you dish out 70 more damage. This attack isn't affected by weakness, otherwise it would be like a Zapdos War, which we don't want. But with Electro Power, we can boost it even further. So think about the scenario. Electro Power, Choice Band, how much damage are you be able to dish out? 140 on GXs. With more Electro Powers, even more damage. So very insane. With Shrine, it's good. With Aegirs Paradise Conservation Area, you block some damage. There's a lot of ways you can make Zapdos work. You're definitely going to be using lots of Guzmas, lots of switch cards. There's a lot to love about Zapdos. Not only are you going to pick off those weak basics early game, you're going to be ahead in the prize race. And afterwards, you can just finish it off with like other attackers like Jolteon GX, which is in a collection box. It's not in this list. I don't think it's in the set. If it is, it's definitely going to be a full art or a secret rare or a rainbow rare. Definitely check out my Eevee Evolution GX's video if you want to learn more about those promo cards. But Zapdos will be a powerhouse. You can pair it with lots of basics and unit energies. Think about Nigaligo, think about Baby Boswell. Lots of cards you can pair with, maybe with Macargo to get the switch every turn, or the Guzma. I love Zapdos. If you haven't noticed already, this is going to be my deck to go to. You can pair it with Jolteon, you can pair it with basics, you can pair it with a lot of stuff. Jolteon, every lightning deck will be running a Zapdos just for this awesome attack. 80 on the second turn, crazy. Electro Power, 110 on the second turn, crazy. So awesome card, that's why it's the number 2 spot. What card could be even better than that? That is going to be the support boosting Jirachi. Jirachi always has a soft spot, and the TCG just have some consistency boosting effect, and this is no different here. Wish Star. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose one trainer card you find there, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle the remaining cards back into the deck. And this Pokemon also falls asleep then. But we have a skateboard, and it has 1 retreat cost. So a skateboard, Jirachi, boom, perfect combo here. Let's play a lot of skateboards, let's play a lot of Jirachi, and every single turn, if there's a knockout, or if you have a Guzma play, you'll be able to have that Wish Star ability. You can just look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose one trainer card you find there, and put it in the hand. Why is this insane? It states trainer card. You want your Electro Power? You got it. You want a supporter this turn because you're dead drunk? No problem, Jirachi's got your back. You want your Shrine of Punishment because the opponent is just going loco with their GXs? No problem. It's probably on the top of the deck somewhere. Bam. Jirachi is so good, and I am definitely sure that this is the best card in the set right now. If your opinion is different, that could be the case, be sure to put it in the comment section below, and definitely be sure to watch. If I forgot a couple of cards you said like this card is better, or I think this card shouldn't be there, definitely let's get the discussion started. This is going to be a fun community. Keep it a little bit nice, because sometimes they say like, that doesn't deserve to be on that spot. Well, just put it in the comment section. Let's have a little discussion, talk about the decisions I made during this process. I have like lots of cards written down here, even lots of honorable mentions, so this is a long video. Anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed this top 20 cards. It's even more with the honorable mentions, but let's say top 20 best cards of Team Up. If you're looking forward to the set, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to demolish the like button as always. Subscribe for more Pokemon TCG content, since there's going to be a lot of Team Up decks coming soon on the channel. Definitely don't want to miss that, since Zapdos is going to be one of the main decks I'm going to focus on first. And yeah, I wish you all a very fantastic rest of your day. Thanks again for tuning in on my channel, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Stay awesome, guys. Stay fresh. Peace out.
If you wanna go and test a deck that isn't played a lot in this format, then listen to what I'll say. If you wanna go and try it out with me, let me know how it does in a tournament. I think it could be really great. Chilling on Sundays while new ideas pop in my brain.